Biden says that he will likely seek re-election in 2024, but the 78-year-old Democrat is leaving open the possibility of stepping aside after one term. Biden addressed his political future Thursday during a wide-ranging news conference, the first of his young presidency. You have to throw the word young in there, don't they, after 78? Just
subliminal messaging.
Right, they have to look elsewhere. Don't look at the 78, look at the young presidency. He says, my plan is to run for re-election. That's my expectation. He later pushed back against a reporter's suggestion that his 2024 plans were decided. I said that it's my expectation, Biden said. I'm a great respecter of fate. Wait, what does that mean? I've never been able to plan for.
I'm really glad somebody quit. When I read that, I thought, I'm like, what?
Yeah, what? To plan 3.5 years ahead for certain. At 78, Biden is the oldest person to assume the presidency. Now, I remember when, and I looked this up, and let's show this on the screen if we could here, if we're not already. Ronald Reagan, I remember when he was running, and he kind of made a joke out of how old he was, and he was 69 years old, almost 70 years old when he took office. And then next oldest was actually Donald Trump. I was pretty surprised by that. He was 70 years old. So Joe Biden has him. Well, he's got him whooped.
That's one thing he's good at. He's got him beat at that. Oh my!
So
he's got to make it through the first 100 days first. Wait, doesn't he have to make it through his first term? Isn't the expectation that Harris will take over shortly soon kind of thing? So why is he talking about 2024? This drives me crazy. What a press conference it was. Anyways, let alone, I think I seen it on CNBC, and they had 20,000 thumbs down for the video and 1.9 thumbs up. I almost thought it was a Trump video.
Well, the hate on Trump would have been the opposite of that. That would have been.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I almost thought it was a Trump video just with how many thumbs down they had for the Biden video. So that's what I'm saying. He had 2 times more thumbs down than he did a thumbs up.
Sure.
So, anyways, wow. I mean, this is what he comes out with, and this is the selling point from KTTC News with the press release from yesterday. I mean, compared to talking about immigration, economics, COVID, their headline is "Run for re-election in 2024." Wow.
There's a lot of stuff going on, and they're talking about that is pretty incredibly amazing. I don't understand it either.
Kind of comical.
Yeah,
it's
let him get through his first year. Let him see if he can sit there for that long. And,
first 100 days. Oh my gosh.
it was. I was listening to it again on the way out, and I'm not a political side person, and I don't listen to every president's speech ever, but every one of his questions at the start of it were all pre-written questions. He didn't even know the reporters. He was calling them off of a sheet.
Yeah,
they couldn't have.
I've never seen a
for this
president with that many
better, and
sheets.
he was still fumbling through every single question. It makes me wonder his mental capacity that he couldn't take. But he's been in politics for 50 years. This isn't his first time speaking, and some of his things about, I don't know how the proper protocol runs in the Senate. Well, you were a senator for 20 years.
I mean, it's
you
the
should
first
know
one
these
from
things.
Coming out of the basement. That's what I meant. It's the first one since coming out of the basement.
Yeah. It scares me, and I'm not going to sit here and bash on President Biden, but I'm nervous.
I got to give Mohammed a shout out today because I was talking to him last night. He was my Lyft driver and stuff, and we had a really great conversation. So hey, I hope you're watching, listening, Mohammed.
Hi, Mohammed.
Yeah.
He was a great guy. We had about a 45-50 minute ride, and like I was telling him, for me, it's about looking at the policies and not the person, because as people, we're going to fail. Craig, I'm sorry, but I'm going to fail you. But that's the reality of it. And so what we have to do as constituents, we have to actually, he's our president. I mean, whether you voted for him or not, I don't really care if you like him personally or not. He's the president of the United States, and we're citizens. And so we have to look at the policies, and that's so important. Is he capable of making good policies and things? Well, it's interesting. That's what, to me, that's what you have to look at.
Yep.
And I always say, just, never follow the messenger, follow the message. So, and my input on this is a little soon. Even when he was running, there was jokes, with all due respect to the President of the United States, that Kamala was going to be taking over shortly. So let's just see how he does. I'm surprised that this is already running, that this is an article that we're actually discussing, but it is comical to me as well.
I looked up, too, there. I believe it was Carter, Jimmy Carter. He didn't have his first press conference until April of his presidency. So while this isn't, it's very, very rare that it's this late. There hasn't been a State of the Union this
I was
year.
just going to mention that. Where is the State of the Union address? That's a lot of pressure for my perspective. Is that would be a lot of pressure for him, considering he's obviously not a great public speaker. So
It makes me question his mental capacity.
yeah.
I mean, sadly, I don't.
Yeah.
I've struggled with that a lot, and watching as he was running for election and things, like Martha May made a joke out of it, hiding in the basement. I mean, he didn't get out. He didn't go and do any kind of press con, or not. I shouldn't say any. He didn't do very many of them, and so that's kind of scary. We are supposed to be the leaders of the free world, or he's supposed to be the leader of the free world, and his mental capacity is clearly wanting.
Well, everything else that's going on right now, for this to be the top of his.
I think that's bad by KTTC that their headline of that whole press conference was his reelection, and that was just a few minutes of the
Well, you know
press
how like some
conference.
people, when they get of age, you got to redo a driving test or this or that. Wouldn't it be interesting for presidents of the United States to have to take a test or something just to be like,
Competency.
hey, let's just make sure you're qualified and you know your information.
Yeah, that's called impeachment. Yeah. Recall. Going back to his press conference, too, I mean, literally, Matt, you and I talked about that. I literally thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was. Like, listening to it, every word of it, I literally thought it was going to be a lot worse. But one thing that kept coming out was, one job Joe. He kept telling the reporters, I'm working on COVID right now. I can't work on the Second Amendment. I can't work on immigration because I'm working on COVID. I'm one job Joe. This is all I can handle is one thing at one task at a time. I'm sitting there thinking, wow, whatever happened to the leader of our free country being able to do this and be able to do this and control this and have people to delegate this, and now all of a sudden he's appointing, the vice president to take care of all this and different things like that. So one job Joe, I guess, is what his name.
We better make sure that this doesn't get on screen, huh? Don't put the computer on screen. Look at somebody's searching memes, Yoda memes, and this isn't my computer. This is a production assistant's
Shirtless
computer.
officer.
We got cheese.
I'm about to Google something, and I'm like,
Oh, the secret sweet hole.
We are as
That's
real
a
as it
pay-per-view
gets.
show.
We are as real as it gets, people.
Yeah.
We're working class people. We are clearly fun, or try to be anyway. But
That's the pay-per-view.
the pay-per-view, well, I don't think it was quite pay-per-view.
No.
But
If you go through the history, it is. Yeah.
We're working up to a pay-per-view channel. We're working up to a pay-per-view channel. We gotta
right.
get subscribers and watchers and viewers.
Yeah, I know.
We want our loyal fans.
One thing that, you talked about Martha May of, he's looking ahead for 4 years, and all I can think of is a quote from the movie Big Daddy when Adam Sandler catches his ex-girlfriend or girlfriend with the old guy. And his comment is, what's your plan? What's your 4-year plan? Don't die?
Yes.
And that's all I can think of.
There's a meme
So,
for that.
yes, I'm sure there is. If not, you'll make one.
What's his 5-year plan? Don't die. die.
Don't die.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't we have to get through his first 100 days first? I mean, is it because we're talking? No, I'm just gonna throw this out there. Is it because we're talking Trump 2024 that all of a sudden we got to throw the Biden 2024 out there? I mean, do you guys see any kind of assimilation with that?
Maybe.
I hope that our country can find two better candidates than those two. We can do better. We can do better.
I'll agree with you with that.
Yeah.
So what's been very interesting is the media needs Trump. They literally, Twitter was in the dumps. They were going out of business. CNN was going out of business. Literally, I mean, CNN was up for sale. AT&T was selling CNN. I think they're back at it again, trying to sell CNN. CNN has laid off all kinds of people. Was it the Huffington Post laid off all kinds of people, 40 some odd people, and they're doing it kind of very interesting, like weird, arbitrary ways. I think the Huffington Post didn't they say like if you got the link to this next meeting, you're still on staff, and if you didn't, you're laid off. Yeah,
Wow.
I'd have to look that up. I mean, you know, like we always say, go and look it up for yourself, people. We're just here giving opinions, not advice, just opinions.
What has the
Thank
news
God.
been selling and promoting now that they don't have President Trump to pick on?
Right, they needed a villain, and they got one with him, and he was a good villain for them. When I say them, I mean kind of the liberal left and very left for sure. They've gone after Marjorie Taylor Greene as the villain. That didn't work. You know, they've gone after Tucker Carlson.
Mike
You know,
Lindell.
yeah, but they're not Trump, and they're realizing they're not getting the clicks, they're not getting the advertising dollars, and all those things. And so they need Trump. I mean, I
That's really all I've got.
they really, yeah, you know. Nothing sells better than a good villain, right? And for that, and yeah.
Hey, a lot of people have asked how they can support the work we're doing here at Matt Logan Speaks. Well, you see this hammer that I got in my hand? It's pretty big. All you have to do is hammer the share button. Go ahead and hammer out a comment to us. Go ahead and hammer the like button. Go ahead and hammer the subscription button. Go ahead and hammer the notification bell so that when we have new content up, you're the first to know about it. We really appreciate the comments, shares, likes, because you know what? That's the best way you can support us, because the algorithms on all these fancy computers, that's what they need. We appreciate it.